Okay, so here we are going to change a tire. This is an '05 C230 Kompressor Sport Mercedes, and we had a flat tire. The wife had a flat tire on the way to work, so obviously that already was, the spare was put on, so we're just going to show you how to do that real quick. So if you ever do end up blowing your tire out, obviously you put the car in park, and underneath Mercedes flap you're going to have a big kit, which I've already removed. And so kind of sitting in this cavity you would have the spare tire, which obviously is here. You're going to have that jack, which is really easy to use. You'll have a little kit here, and then you'll have this tray that sits on there, and it'll have a wrench. And, it's going to have lug nuts. Now these lug nuts here are for the OEM Sport wheel, okay? And then the spare is going to have its own lug nuts. So it's really important when you change that tire on the side of the road, you cannot use these lugs, okay? You can't, they're totally different. So anyway, so we're going to show you how to do that. The main thing here, when you use this jack, it's very, very straightforward. So here you got the jack. You see this little white kind of placeholder, and that's going to go right underneath the car here, and there's going to be a little jack point, which you can't see, which I'll show you in just a second here. Okay, so you can see the little jack point here. Okay, so that little puck, that white puck, is just going to go right underneath there. It's super easy. You'll just slide it underneath like so. It'll stick in place, and then you'll just jack it up. Okay, so now you can see where that puck is in place for the jack, and the jack basically just braces itself. So you're obviously gonna just jack her up like so, and I'll kind of get it started, and then what you'll want to do is break loose the lugs. You just crack those loose before you bring the tire off. Okay, so I'll show you how to do this. Very, very straightforward. Usually throw some gloves on, but we'll go ahead and loosen these up. And when you loosen them, just kind of go crisscross like so, because it'll make it easier. So we get those loose. Now we'll finish jacking it up. And the spare tire is going to have to come a little higher off the ground than the OEM one, but not a whole ton. So now we got that. Loosen these babies up. Like so. And then you can see these lugs being a lot smaller than the OEM lugs, so that's why you're having to use different ones. Once again, you can see how much longer those are. So pull the wheel off. And we'll go ahead and set this baby on here. You're going to want to get one of these started, because obviously with these, and these are kind of different because of the fact that you have, they screw into the hub versus studs sticking out of the wheel. Now when you're doing this, you can see the hub on the inside. Now with Mercedes, the studs are actually, the bolts are screwed into the hub, and you can see how that could really be a hassle because you got to get the rim lined up, right, in order to get the stud in there. So you use the jack to do that. So you're just going to lower it or raise it just to the point where that stud will just go right in, kind of like how it is now. So I'm just going to slide the tire in there, get that first bolt started, okay, and we'll get all the other ones started, then you can cinch the wheel up. But it's real important, just use the jack to line it up. Don't fight it by holding onto the wheel and trying to balance the thing. It's just a hassle that way. Just use the jack to get the right height. Okay, so now we got that first one started, so then these are really easy, and when you slide those in, when you have it lined up, it'll tighten down very, very easily. Okay, so that's as easy as it'll be, just like that. Obviously we're going to torque those down, but the main thing is you don't want to be cross-threading them, so they should just go right in, super easy, no big deal. And you see how it's kind of cinching down in there, and then we'll do this one. You kind of do them in a cross pattern like so. See how the wheel kind of starts tightening up. But so important you don't cross thread these studs. Okay. So we'll get a nice little bit of torque on them. Just crisscross your pattern. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just and just kind of get them tight with your hand like I'm doing here. Then we're going to let the jack down, and then we're going to torque them. Now I'm going to do this like you would on the highway because you're not going to be carrying a torque wrench. So I'll show you how to do it like a simple way to do it. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and bring the jack down. And with these jacks, they look kind of funny because they seem floppy and you think like you're looking for some other part of it, but they're just, yeah, it's just how they are, just like that. Alright? Okay, so when you torque these down and you're on the highway, you get your hand over here, hand here, and you just kind of put your weight into it, cross over. You see how loose that was? Cross over. And these are kind of a tapered bolt, so they're going to cinch down pretty good. So I'm about 185 pounds. Your body weight into it. There we go. And once you put your body weight into it, you can't do anything else with it. And you're good. We don't need to crisscross once you get this tight, just simply because you're just double checking. And that's it. And put all your pretty stuff back.